Okay, Youth Summit, welcome. We're all finally gathered together. You've all received a unique opportunity to be able to attend a Youth Summit and be treated as consultants to help share your opinions about what you think can be done to get youth more involved in the saving and sharing of historic places.
We can come together and learn more about history, like just outside of textbooks, and what it means to us in real life, which is something we usually don't get in school, and we get to apply like kind of what we learn in real life and actually help people who are in government and help people make decisions, and it kind of empowers youth to learn more about their culture and make an impact in their communities.
The first item that you're going to be looking at is vandalism. How do we educate people about protecting the sites and preventing vandalism? As you'll see in the next 4 days, that the Chacoan landscape is huge. It's more than just what's inside the borders of the National Park Service. Tourism and visitor experience. Young people, your generation, are not going to the parks like other generations did. Like my generation, the baby boomers. You know, it was all about going to national parks. And how can we reach out to your generation and get your generation excited about your national parks and preserving and protecting them?
But today, I'm going to show you guys how to work with buckskin.
We're trying to sew them together, I guess, with this what's it called? Sinew.
Sewing is very difficult, which I am learning right now. I think all of us are. So it gives us a newfound appreciation for kind of the basic lifestyle and the kind of things we had to do that we don't have to do.
I don't know their right name, but I believe they're medicine pouches. Have cornmeal, flour, sentimental value to it. Herbs and medicinal value to them.
They want us to keep their little piece of culture close to our hearts because we're gonna wear them around our necks.
All right, so what you want to do, I'll show you on this side, is take it, first you want to take it through here like this. It's going to be kind of hard to demonstrate since I've already done the side. And then you want to go back through and secure the bottom like this. So you want to get this one on top. All right, so now the bottom of the bag is secure.
So welcome. I'm glad to see everyone here, and usually this tour takes me an hour and a half, so we're going to be really pushing it. It was built in 31 years. So look at that and imagine the workforce you must have had for 31 years. Those large beams that we saw as we walked through the rooms, they came from up north of Durango. So we're talking about 40 to 60 miles away, talking about a great culture and the people still around today who can come and give us insight about this.
Heritage Committee of UNESCO, part of the United Nations, which is, as you know, the international body that decides on UNESCO World Heritage protection. Every year, this Committee of UNESCO sees many nominations from sites all over the world.
We're deciding if this should be a nominee for that.
So we're deciding whether this national park should become preserved by UNESCO.
Ours is this island in Japan, and we're deciding whether it should be a World Heritage Site.
These are international sites that are protected from all around the world because they show global importance rather than just importance to one country, and it's based off a set of criteria, and we are analyzing a particular site to see if it meets those criteria.
Vandalism does occur here. Looters and vandals would go into rooms in Egypt, around the country, in the Southwest as well, and try to find the treasures, try to find the artifacts, the cool, interesting stuff. This is insight, however, it shows that that vandalism occurred throughout time here. Vandalism you'll see in here, even though it happened 100 years ago, it's still vandalism.
The park is so thrilled to have these new exhibits to better share the artifacts. Some of the artifacts that are on display here have never been on display to the public before.
So we're gonna find exhibits in the new museum, and then we're gonna come up with activities or ideas for different learning styles to get kids involved to learn about the different sites.
We're getting great ideas from students about what they would find interesting and what younger kids might find interesting.
I just hope they have a better understanding that there are, different levels of preservation and protection, and that, sites and historic buildings can be listed on the state register or the national register, and that there are, boundaries, on national monuments, and there's boundaries on archaeological sites, and within that, you have to consider their historic context.
You could tell that the kids definitely put a lot of work into what they were doing, and they're very passionate about their culture, and I thought that was
that we're going to then answer/present on Friday at a town hall.
I wanted to come here because I wanted to learn about the past. In the future I could talk about what I learned.
The most interesting thing is just how almost creative and thoughtful their things were. They weren't old-fashioned. Some of the things that they have we still use today.
We need to preserve these historical structures because if children come in to learn about possibly their ancestors, such as the Native Americans, or possibly they're related to the Aztecs, they can learn more about their family history and how they thought and how they learned.
It was basically just a good way to start off our week because we could see the historical sites and get almost a look at the past.
North Road as a linear feature runs from on top of the mesa just north of Pueblo Bonito, the largest ancestral Puebloan site. We knew there were roads right around Chaco, but as we began doing broader surveys related to oil and gas development here in this broad region, we realized that these roads radiated out, and one of the most important and maybe most significant was the Great North Road.
So a lot of grazing, BLM does that. What's that back there behind us? Oil and gas. Okay, anybody here goes hunting and fishing? Or family members do? Okay. Mountain biking?
We do a lot of collaboration with other agencies as well. The Park Service, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, we do it with the Forest Service, we do it with the state office. I mean, it takes a lot of work just to get a project through in terms of budgeting and communication.
This is the Bisti Wilderness that was enlarged to include the Dana Zin Wilderness Study Area, and now they're going to enlarge it to include the fossil forest area. Within 10 miles of Chaco, they're proposing that there be no lights at night. And that affects not only the people that live in the area, but also the safety of drilling deep wells. You have to keep a rig going at night.
Chaco is the center of the Pueblo world.
Really privileged to be here, and we're thrilled that you're here with us. You're going to play resource managers, only for real. You're going to be doing resource management for the next 3 hours or so. Let's take off.
We're looking at the quadrants for certain artifacts that are found.
We're looking for these decorated ceramic. We have white ceramic, utility corrugated, utility plain, redware. We have lithics, which are tools and flakes. And we have groundstone, bone, charcoal, or other is what we can look for.
Whoa, this striped one? What does that count as?
So there's like little parts of bowls and just all kinds of stuff. And since we're farther off the trail, there's a lot more artifacts than closer to the trail. Like all over the place. There's just
lots of different.
You can see designs and decorations. And also it shows because we were close to the trail and there were a lot less artifacts, and now we're farther away and there's a lot more artifacts. So it shows that really there's a lot of vandalism happening. It tries to help us figure out what we could do to stop the vandalism and keep all this cool stuff out here.
So we've been given a scenic quality evaluation form, and we're looking at the landscape around here, and we're rating it based on different aspects and features of scenery.
Like the visual quality of this view as opposed to others. So.
We're gonna look at the scenery and like the whole monument, and then we're gonna look at the descriptions and rate it from 1, 3, or 5, or like in between.
How important mapping is to archaeology is sort of the foundation of what we do. We like to know where we are, and when we find stuff, we like to be able to put it on a map somewhere so that we have a record of it.
So this is ground penetrating radar. It is one method in a suite of techniques referred to as remote sensing, which is just a way to acquire information about something without physically coming into contact with it. So this is actually mapping stuff below ground, so stuff that's actually buried.
And I got my piece of paper, I'm gonna set my compass down and I'm gonna orient it towards north. Once I've found north, I'm gonna draw an arrow pointing in that direction in this left-hand corner over here at the top. And after I've drawn the arrow pointing towards north, I'm gonna put an N underneath it. So that tells you on this map where north is. Can you guys do that for me?
We're building. Right now we're making the walls.
Yeah, we're gonna start building the roof. We just need like extra stuff.
Rocks. Flat rocks.
Flat rocks, not rough rocks.
Why do you think you're making them?
So we can make a building.
A pueblo.
We're creating posts or topics for posts for the Facebook page?
The Facebook page just got put up, and they need things and ideas to post about on the page to really capture the heart and ideas behind Chaco National Monument.
Things that are valuable in this park. You guys, I understand, have been in places where you see a lot of pottery shards, and then you see very few. And where you guys see very few, do you guys remember where you guys were at? They must have shared where you might see fewer pottery shards. On the trails. You get off the trail, you're going to probably find more. So again, each of those pottery shards are important because they have a story to tell.
Like having these camps like Youth Summit, it makes it more available, or like more readily available to be able to come in and learn about this.
Companies are getting attention and money now. Is crowdfunding, like that's getting really big. So I think if national parks had some sort of like annual crowdfunding, like money will always get attention. So if there's an easy way to support something that they like, people will do it.
This is also an international dark sky park. That's a whole nother level of protection on the night skies here because they are so important here as opposed to 50 miles down the road. That seems crazy, but that's what I'm here to share with you for tonight. So this is Chaco, and about 37,000 people a year, every year, come to this spot. They come to see the same things that ancestral Pueblo people would have seen by day and by night. This is called the right to starlight. I carry that, 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 I
So Youth Summit out here today is helping Aztec Ruins National Monument tremendously by removing these invasive and exotic species from this